Today I'm going to be talking about a book that has to deal with fae people, but it's not ACOTAR though. The book that I will be discussing today is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I finally jumped on the bandwagon of The Cruel Prince because for the last couple of months of 2018, I saw so much stuff about this book. Like, so many people were talking about it on Tumblr, and I saw all these video edits of it on Instagram, and I was like, alright, I'm confused, I don't know what this is, and me being a curious little bean, I went out and bought it, and I'm so glad that I did. If you don't know what this book is about, basically it's about this girl named Jude, and when she was 7 years old, she and her two sisters, Taryn and Vivian, witnessed their parents get murdered, and when this happens, the guy who murdered them takes them away to fairyland because fae exist, and they grow up there. And when Jude is 17, when the book begins, she is trying so hard to fit in to the fae world because mortals are despised there, fae hate them, but she wants to earn her place in the fairy kingdom, and there's a lot of drama and scandals and deaths. There's a lot of murder. I highly enjoyed The Cruel Prince, and it surprised me how much I did enjoy the book because I went into this thinking, oh my god, it's gonna be an ACOTAR knockoff, but it's not, you guys, it's not. And honestly, it's kind of better than ACOTAR because the plot was just so intriguing and I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, and plus these characters are psycho, but like, I would die for them. If you have not read The Cruel Prince yet, I highly recommend you go do so because you are really missing out. Like, this is like the new fantasy series, and like, I'm so excited to read the next book, but like, just go read The Cruel Prince, and when you do, come back so we can discuss it together. So, goodbye, not spoiling people! Alrighty, so The Cruel Prince. Where do I even begin? Because this book is actual insanity. First, I want to talk about our main character, Jude, who I would die for because she is really one of the most amazing, badass female characters I've read in a long time. And you know, I know a lot of amazing fictional women, but Jude really blew me away. What I love most about Jude is how she is not a quitter. Like, she goes after what she wants and she gets it, and she just has a lot of strength and bravery, and she doesn't let the fae get her down. Like, she is so determined to earn her place in the fae kingdom, and she doesn't let anything stop her. I think my favorite Jude scene is when they're at the summer tournament and the battle's over and Jude walks over to Carden and she is just like spitting fire at him, and it's so like savagery, and I just loved every second of it because Jude is such a savage, and like, I loved it so much. Speaking of Carden, let's talk about Carden because, oh my god, I have a lot of feelings about him. Carden is one of those fictional dudes where you start reading about him and you're like, oh my god, this guy is a complete jerk, he's so rude, but then 5 seconds later you're just like, oh my god, I would die for him. I really wanted to hate Carden because he is a jerk to Jude. He said and did such terrible things to her in the beginning, but there was this small part of me that was like, but you know, I'm like kind of in love with him though because he's just hot. What made me develop a soft spot for Carden was when he got whipped by his brother Balkan because he wouldn't murder the servant because he didn't want to murder this innocent guy who hadn't done anything wrong, and he didn't want to cause death. But then his crazy brother Balkan was like, yeah, I'm gonna whip you for that. And it was insane, but I was like, reading it though, I was like, my poor baby Carden. Oh my god, just bringing up Balkan, he's so crazy, and I knew that he was gonna try and kill his brother Dane. Like, that was so obvious, and I was like, he's probably gonna get away with it too. And he did, and then he even killed his own dad at the coronation, and I was like, wow, these people are psycho. I'm pretty sure everyone in this book is insane, except for Oak, who I love and adore and deserves all the peace and happiness in the world, and I can't believe he's getting dragged into this huge mess and how he's like the heir to the throne now. Like that was, I really don't know how I didn't figure that out, but you know, Holly Black was really messing with my mind while I read this book. But back to the psycho people, I need to bring up Valoran, however you say his name, just for a hot second, because oh my god, I wanted to punch him in the face so many times, because he honestly was kind of worse to Jude than Cardan, I have to admit. But when he tried choking her to death twice, I wanted to throw hands, because I was like, ain't no way you're killing Jude. But when Jude killed him in her bedroom, oh my gosh, I was rooting for her so hard. I was like, yes, yes, yes. And then he died, and I was like, but then he cursed her, but I didn't care about that. I wonder if that'll come into play though, now thinking about it, but whatever. Another psycho person is Locke, who honestly kind of backstabbed me, because at first he seemed, you know, really nice, and he was like friends with Taran and Jude, and I was like, wow, you know, there's like a genuine fae male here. But as I kept reading about him, I was like, you know, Locke is like too good to be true. And then when Taran mentioned that she had found someone but wouldn't reveal who it was to Jude, the thought of it being Locke did cross my mind, but I was like, no, it can't be, because Jude by that point was, you know, making out with him all the time, so I was like, it can't be. But then, you know, it was. I really can't believe that both Taran and Locke would do that. Locke because he knew that he was engaged to Jude's sister, but yet he was still kissing her 24/7. And then Taran because she knew that Jude and Locke were a thing, but she still wouldn't say anything about her engagement to Locke, and it was all just so messed up. And Taran I actually dislike, not just because of the Locke situation, but just because I don't like her. She just gave me a bad vibe when she showed up, and as the book progressed, the more my dislike grew. And I just really think she's annoying and did her sister wrong, and I just don't like her. I love Vivian though, the other sister. Oh my god, she's wonderful, and I love her girlfriend Heather. And then I gotta talk about the other family member, Maddox. I don't know how you say his name either, but I'm gonna call him Maddox. But he, oh my god, I wanted to like him so bad, like Jude, because he is like a father figure to them, even though he murdered their parents, but like he took them in, and it's all just so messed up. But I was so shocked when they're at the coronation and Maddox murdered like Cardan's two sisters, and he was just killing everybody, and he was like siding with Balkan. I was like, oh my god. I think Maddox really cares about Jude and Taran and Vivian, you know, because if he didn't, then like they would probably be dead. But at the same time, I think he cares more about power, especially now since we know that, you know, he's trying to get Oak on the throne so he can be regent and control everything. Like, he is very power hungry, and now after finishing The Cruel Prince, I definitely don't trust him anymore, and I think he's definitely gonna cause more chaos in the second book. Y'all, speaking of the coronation, I was just so shook reading that. Like, everyone was dying or everyone was murdering one another. Like, it was so crazy. I don't think I've ever read a book with so much murder before. I'm just really glad that Balkan didn't become king at the coronation, and he's still not king because Cardan now is. I was surprised when Cardan became king, but at the same time I wasn't, because I knew Jude didn't want to place Oak, her younger brother, in that type of position or harm, so I kind of assumed she was gonna, you know, switch things up and actually make him king. But still, it was shocking because, you know, the last 50 pages were shocking. And before I end my discussion, I have to talk about Jude and Cardan as an OTP, because oh my god, they are seriously like the best enemies to lovers trope I have ever read. For 300 pages of this book, they're hating on each other, you know, they're trying to kill one another and everything, but then suddenly they're just like making out, and I was like, wow, oh my god, they did that. I hope I get to see more scenes between the two of them in the next book, The Wicked King, because there just wasn't enough in this, and I'm such trash for them now. Like, I have to know if they like kiss again or whatever. Like, I just need more Judah Garden. But I think that's all I have to say for The Cruel Prince. I know there's probably a bunch of other crazy stuff I could have talked about, but I think I hit the general points that I want to discuss. Overall, this book was amazing. I loved every second of the insanity, and I cannot wait to read The Wicked King. Thank you all so much for watching this book review. Please let me know in the comments down below, what did you think of The Cruel Prince? And I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'm Courtney. I'll see you all next time with a new video soon, so I will see you then. So bye!